Hey everybody, I'm Grandmaster Ben Feingold. This is 5 Minutes with Ben, and I'm Ben. We're going to go back in the time machine, go to the 1963 U.S. Championship, which Fischer famously won 11-0. This was round 10, the penultimate round, against one of America's top players, Pal Benko, originally from Hungary, but he immigrated to the U.S. In the 50s, I think, and spent most of the rest of his life in the U.S. playing chess. This is a famous game, so some of you are going to know the key moves. But again, and I said this in other videos, sometimes when I think the game is famous and that all of my students and viewers know these moves from their chess studies before, they don't. Okay, so Fischer's white, and Fischer's attacking. He's got his queen on h5. He's got his rook on the open line. He's got his bishops pointing towards the king side. And I guess most importantly, white has the two bishops. Okay, now all that stuff that I said, Fischer got rid of all of it, making me look like a doofus. Fischer said, oh, my bishop's attacking and I have the two bishops. Let's get rid of all that and play bishop takes knight on d4. And this is pure calculation. Strategically, bishop takes knight does one thing. It unblocks the e-pawn, so when you take back, which you better do, now when I play e5, I'm threatening queen takes h7 mate. And this is a funny position because if I was playing a blitz game, I would play e5, attacking the knight and threatening mate. Hooray, go Ben. And then I would overlook that my opponent can stop them both. And if Fischer had played e5 and overlooked black's response, which is frankly ridiculous, he didn't go 11-0 by overlooking stuff, then this game wouldn't be famous. Black has the brilliant move f5, which obviously stops mate because it blocks the bishop. It also attacks the queen on h5 by discovery, and black is fortunate that if white trades queens, black could take with a rook because the knight is attacked on c3, or black could take with the knight and save the knight. Although it's not strictly necessary since the knight on c3 is hanging. So f5 would save the day. And Fischer, in a very unusual happenstance, said, oh, you want to play f5? Because typically Fischer didn't talk during the game, but this is well documented that he said this. Also, if you believe that, I have more jokes that you can believe. And Fischer said, excuse me while I whip this out. And everybody screamed, and Fischer played rook f6, confusing the audience. And the idea is, if you take my rook or take my knight, I play e5, threatening queen h7 mate, because the bishop is unleashed, and there's no defense. Bishop takes rook, e5, threatening mate, no defense. The dogs agree. They're barking like crazy. And if you take the knight, it's the same thing, same deviled egg. Okay, so Benko played the only move to stop mate. Benko was candidate, a world-class player. Can't just checkmate him. And he played king g8. And he said, hey, if you take my knight, I'll take your knight. And if you play e5 threatening mate, which was always the move, and Fischer did play e5 threatening mate, now with the black king on g8 instead of h8, black can play h6. If the black king was on h8, white would play rook takes h6 check, roar, and checkmate. Okay, And this position, Fischer thought, let's see, my knight's attacked and his knight's attacked. Why don't we have it so my knight's not attacked? So he played knight e2. Very, very simple. And the point is, black has to move the knight because white's threatening to take the knight with the rook. Unfortunately, the knight is doing something good. The knight is defending f5. The dogs agree. And if the knight moves anywhere, the annotator suggested knight b5. Then I play queen f5, threatening queen h7 mate, and the truth hurts. You can't stop mate. So after knight e2, since Benko is faced with the loss of his knight or getting checkmated, Benko resigned. So rook f6 is a very famous move. Now you've seen the end of the game, and another brilliant victory for Fischer on his way to 11-0 in the U.S. Championship. I'm Grandmaster Ben Feingold. That was 5 Minutes with Ben. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Sorry about the dogs barking so much, but I can't wait to read your brilliant comments in the YouTube chat discussing how the dogs were always barking. Bye, everybody.